This is an interesting download from the spirit. It's ancestral message. This message, what I'm hearing, especially for those who are resonate with having a sort of spirit or shadow that hasn't only been after you particularly, but people in your family, people that you don't necessarily know. This is a very, very, very deep message. You have to sit down for it. This is something had to do with the olden times. And I'm gonna say, because the energy I'm picking on is a person. This is perhaps a great, great, great grandpa or grandma. Somebody from a very old-timey lineage. And this is before a lot of the fear regarding religion took place. A spirit that people today, celebrities, people who are politicians, these people today still maintain these old-time rites of passage. This is all about eternal life and how some of the people in that timeline were managing to get eternal life or become a spirit in their right and pretty much exceed death or live beyond death. This is the very thing that Yeshua came to extinguish. I'm not gonna go to the religious aspect because Yeshua is not religious. What I mean, a spirit that has been inflamed and sometimes even fed in your family, in your relative, in your lineage. They have registered for so long as the only alive relative or bloodline, and this is how they manage to do it. These rites involve what people today have proclaimed as well openly: sacrificing children and family in a ritualistic manner, where the person who offers it, their spirit offers, their bloodline, becomes the same spirit that outlives them or lives through them. The way this great grandpa or grandma spirit, ancestral spirit, have, why they did it and how they have so far existed and why. What's your role in this, chosen one? The reason why they did it, it's a revelation that I think it's given to me by this same spirit. It's a spirit of vengeance against any outsider authority, belief system, especially or religion that was there to challenge this person. Whoever this is, it's like a very feminine figure, and you can easily call it demonic. Spirit like this, as time goes on, they become demonic because they create a lot of energetic entanglement with the relatives that they are living. They take on certain characteristics that wasn't of the original right. They gather energetic debris and eventually makes them attack the very people that they sent out to protect, possibly protecting your lineage and your heritage from belief systems that were foreign or weren't really based from what the ancestor passed down. This is someone who foresight, insight of what yet to come, and how the people that were birthed into your lineage gonna be treated eventually, regardless of race. But it is strong related to people have a deep lineage, ancient history lineage. This how been shown to me. The way this spirit person that maintain authority, the only living standing bloodline, which make no sense. People have come and went after them. You have many, you yourself are still alive watching this, you have relatives. And the way that this energy, this spirit now, almost demonic because it's debris, being shown as the only living bloodline, the only relative, the only authority, and above that there is no other authority. And the way they maintain this power is through possession, through watching, instructing, possessing bloodline, sometimes even strangers, to grow and increase its power. This takes place like a feedback loop as the energy becomes more unstable in the spirit, because God or the Most High, the spirit that doesn't require, source doesn't require sacrifice in order to ascend or to receive eternal life. It keep birthing chosen one, those who are marked or chosen, to pretty much be head to head with this entity in the spirit. Not every single family have it. Not every single family have done this rite or ritual. Modern people are doing this for their bloodline, or doing this for themselves, who truly believe that they need to sacrifice or something crazy like that in order to receive eternal, in order to ascend. This is the same spirit that Yeshua came to challenge, because the way that these people are ascending through possessing their lineage is through eventually being so corrupted that they begin to possess or even demand power over those that were brought here, the chosen one specifically, to receive the baton. This is a spirit that is now being clarified, wires that being crossed over time. And the reason it was crossed was because how I'm gonna say it. This so-called evil spirit, it wasn't necessarily evil, it was a preservation of lineage, an attempt to overshadow belief systems that were threatening to completely eradicate the truth and the rituals that the spirits that these people back in the day believed in. But the reason why it became over time evil spirit, because as like being inflamed, because the cost was never paid in full, meaning the time this great grandpa or grandma did it as vengeance against the upcoming challenge or authority or religion. So your family or relative could be haunted because they were falling under the radar of whom this curse was supposed to keep out. The funny thing is, debris get gathered, and eventually this spirit becomes egoic, possessed by itself, if that makes sense. Possessed by the meaning that it is now over generations lost touch with. So when there is a chosen spirit like yourself, it isn't necessarily walking in the line of religion or trying to abuse or feed the spirit to kindle the fire and to receive offerings that aren't necessarily pure, which is for a lot of you people, maybe in your family, that you may feel like holding some kind of secret, being doing this, and use that same energy, that same spirit to attack you because they felt like you are going to supersede it, you're going to claim it. So eventually this spirit become confused, and it was supposed to protect the likes of you one time of you arrive. But because it had been wielded by spirit or people that are living people that were falsely feeding it and using it as vengeance, They were pretty much standing the way and the path of the support of this spirit that initially created this sacrifice for not the sacrifice necessary. It's not important, not because it's important. It is righteous. It wasn't righteous, not necessary, not wasn't righteous, but the meaning behind it corrupted. So what we see now is taking place, especially after this was the authority shifting, and you're going to see it in your personal life by because you've done the work, like by not feeding, you know what I mean? The authority is shifting because those wires that were crossed has been uncrossed, and the spirit now recognized you. You know what I mean? They recognized you. The spirit is being now two heads, two spiritual pulses that weren't there before. Believe it or not, a lot of people that came before you, the reason why this spirit is even still existing, is still vengeful, thirsty, it's because people weren't able to overcome it. They even working with it, or possessed by it, or instructed by it, as opposed to stand in their own source called authority, instead of standing in authority that is higher whatever than the whatever that spirit is. Nobody did it. It doesn't have to come from blood sacrifice. It is frequency, energy sacrifice, divine pure light. It's coming from something can be undone and done. It emanates the source, the spirit. So this is why the wire has been uncrossed, especially as we see the cycle coming into complete close, and it closed right on time. For this entity now in the spirit has become an entity over time to pretty much under you. Yes. Like you taking a mighty spirit now under your wing. And this is gonna show up in a very strange way in your life. If you're feeling it suddenly, and you might even know it. Because for you might not feel like anything. It might feel like peace, silence. But to the others, the one that's still alive, could be relatives, it's been wielding the spirit. They didn't overcome it, but they will be feeding it in order to meet their own selfish need. And this worldly selfish need, they're going to feel a sudden emptiness. Like they're not gonna be able to explain it. It's gonna be feel like emptiness or abandonment because something else has risen. A spirit that is greater than this spirit that has been recognized, the only living ancestor, has risen beyond them. In a way, you are coming and calling this spirit that has been so angry for so long because the purpose of the sacrifice was never fulfilled, and people that under the umbrella protected by that were actually in the radar of the curse of receiving the bane of the curse, if that makes sense. You know, this message is not for everybody. This is a very specific message. Probably it can resonate people who come across cult or raised in cults themselves, or who have bloodline from an actual cult and they were given to somebody else in a young age. You claimed the aim source. The way it's gonna be showing in your life is when this authority shifts. This is a spirit. This is the spirit that certain part of your family or relative has worshipped. Even if they thought they were shopping source, they were never actually worshipping source because they couldn't overcome or conquer the spirit. We call it a generational curse because it applies like that as well. This is manifest, the spirit that embodies all the curses, and it gathers energetic debris as a generation come and go, and nobody faces up to it, nobody stand up to it, nobody actually sees it long enough to overcome it, or they see it and or they buy to it. You know, this spirit is now under you, meaning not like it's gonna feel like looking face to face to it, and the people in your life are gonna feel it first. The people that you have no pickup, no argument, you have no problem with them, or maybe they never actually knew. Now they're gonna have a out of the sudden flare up, even random stranger. They're gonna go and attack you out of nowhere. It's gonna you don't feel it, but as a power being given to you, you feel it as release, peace, something no longer on your shoulder, you know. But the way the people around you may feel it is authority. They some kind of authority in your aura, and you know you see it in shamans, and they have usually grandpa and grandma and peaceful spirits that they are supporting them. You know, it's wrong. It attack everybody that comes near you. The chosen one. This spirit has you know, those jealous people was using it to harm. These dark shadowy people were using it to harm as a power tool, to harm against its own design. Against its own design. This spirit has went back to its origin, to its divine nature. Because its created divine nature is to protect the future chosen. You know? And it keeps going with the lineage. It's for the chosens. But has been used for a long time by dark people. You're gonna see people have the urge to fall down on their knees or retract or attack. They don't know to whom they're responding. They just gonna attack. You're gonna see different people. They're gonna move through their emotion. And the reason why? That is because it is the field is recalibrating the energetic factual that existed in your field. It was manufactured. It's can ritually upheld by people that want to possess the authority of that spirit. That wasn't supposed to be possessed. It was supposed to be embodied. It was a protector spirit that appeared through the lineage when there was a lot of attack on truth, when there was the dark ages. I'm talking about ancient spirit. Sense, this is so fucking deep. This is so fucking deep. This is a spirit that now with you. And you can feel a sense of grief. Like what's it? Okay, now what? What's the point? Like, this rage, like, it's not like you don't have the energy to move it. You know, it's recalibrating. And it's gonna be showing up and people are not around you that connected to you. She's gonna be working through them because we are all connected. Those wires that were crossed are now uncrossed. And the one who's been abusing that spirit, that protective spirit, that became an evil spirit, in your lineage is going to have nothing left energetically. Energetically bankrupt. I don't make messages for every single person every single time. You know, I don't know why this, if you're not living out there doing the work energetically, this stuff I say, it will not make sense to you. And you can sit and attack me. You can attack the collective that we are listening to spirits working through the spiritual awakening, whatever you want to call it at this point, or you can actually reflect because you're projecting and not everything is going to be for everyone. Anyway, hope my message helped chosen individuals to know what happens once you start stepping in your spiritual awakening.